Jake asks, what's the main problems with Thomas Massie? Oh, Jake, where you been, brother? You haven't been watching my Massie stuff? I don't have time tonight. I don't have time. But I hear you and I see you. Let me just put it this way, okay? Massie's talks a good game, and that's why what you write at the end there, you like some of what he said. Massie talks a good game. He does. He's very smart. And every time he sits down for an interview, I got to admit, I listen and I'm like, man, I kind of like this guy. But, it's not what you say, it's what you do. And Massie, in the Trump terms, has been one of the biggest thorns in Trump's side. And he comes out and says he's because he's so principled. But this guy his record lies about that. Okay. His record belies him. Under the Biden administration, he was on, it's okay, Jake. I'm not being hard on you. He was on a committee, the budget committee. They were trying to pass Biden's big budget with no debt ceiling for a year and a half. Well, what is like libertarians' number one thing? It's always the debt, baby. Stop spending. Thomas Massie, principled man, is the deciding vote to get it out of committee to get voted on the House, and he votes for it to get voted on when he could have stopped it. And now for a year and a half, there's no debt ceiling, and Biden racks up debt at unprecedented levels. So there's number one. Okay, that's to me like one of the most egregious examples. Number two, the Epstein thing. With Epstein, Massie never brought it up at all. He's got one tweet where he mentions it from 2001 to 2004 when Trump's out of office. In 2004, Trump comes back in office, and all of a sudden, Massie starts, or not even back in office yet, he's on his campaign. Massie starts talking about the Epstein files. Like, oh, we got to get justice for these victims. Where the hell were you during the Biden years, dude? They had those files. You didn't say one thing. Interesting that it's supposedly going to hurt Trump. Who's he team up with? Ro Khanna. Ro Khanna is one of the worst Democrats. He's in the House. He talks a good game. He's lying to everybody's faces. He's like Obama. He's very smooth, but he's left as it gets. And luckily, he's not as smart as Obama. He's already outed himself enough where I don't think he'll ever have a chance to become president. But that's who Massie teams up with to get exposure on the Epstein files. And then he deploys all of this right when Trump kind of needs it the most. Right after the bombing of Iran, everybody's saying Trump's owned by Israel, which is one of the dumbest things ever because it was a quick bombing in and out. Israel wanted to stay in. Trump demanded they end the war. And then Trump also forced them to end bombing Gaza when Netanyahu probably would have done it forever. Trump is obviously not owned by Israel. All the evidence points to it. But retards like Massie are all playing that game. And it's mostly the libertarians, unfortunately. Libertarians and the America First Groyper crowd led by Nick Fuentes. Who, by the way, why team up with them? So Massie, right after this, when Trump kind of needs like a little bit of help, not help's the wrong word, but he's in a vulnerable position because of all this Israel stuff because of the Iran strike. That's exactly when Massie decides to go full bore. Release the Epstein files. What are you hiding? Why are you protecting your friends? And then gets everybody up in an uproar. Now, I feel like Trump played it as well as he could. It wasn't perfect. It was a mess. But he did suck them all in and then rug pulled them in December. Now the Democrats are freaking out. So it ultimately is going to work out. But at the same, Massie just votes and stands up to Trump all the time. And he brings this whole cohort of people who are kind of stupid because all they care about is like, oh, we're so principled. But principled in this term, like, I'm a principled person. I realize I have goals. I have goals that I want America to achieve. I have goals I want Trump to achieve. I want to see a change in our country. You know what I'm happy with? Progress. It doesn't mean I'm satisfied. But as long as there's progress, I am okay with fighting, and I'm cheering on the people making progress. the Massie crowd, the Dave Smith libertarian crowd, the America First Groyper crowd, the Nick Fuentes types, all in this bubble together cheering on Massie. None of them are okay with anything unless it's perfection and you do it all at once. There's no celebration of progress. All there is criticism all the time. And when you don't get it done in time for them, which I don't even know what their time is, it's like Trump hasn't even been in there a year and they're already saying he's betrayed them and he's not America first. It's like he's got 3 years left and we've already got all this done. But the Massie types, what he's leading, it's all like ginning these people up and encouraging them. And it's hurting Trump a little bit. It is. It's hurting the approval and it's hurting the movement. Now, I think the movement's big and strong enough and Trump's smart enough where we're still going to win. But if we had people like Massie who have such a big following on our side and not lying to the people and not always challenging Trump from this perspective, this right perspective, we'd all get where we want to go faster, including Massie. Because by the way, Trump is, it's like, I know it's not saying a lot to a libertarian, but as far as you guys have gone with your presidential candidates, Trump is the most libertarian president you'll ever have. He just is. Look what he's done with crypto, which you guys all wanted. He let go. He got Ross out of prison. He's deregulating the economy. He's cut taxes. You know, he's always going to spend more than you guys want. And he's always like the tariffs. I know libertarians hate, whatever. It's stupid because libertarians, not you, but big libertarians, they have this belief that the whole world plays by the same rules, which just isn't true. We can have free trade within our borders, which is just regular commerce capitalism. It's not going to work across the board because they were all tariffing us. So we were the only ones doing free trade, okay? So Massie it's like, and then we see who he's funded by. He accepts money from the Bill Gates kids. So there's the Gates. He says, oh, I don't get any money from AIPAC, which is true. He does have major Israeli donors, though. Oh, nobody talks about that. Nobody's willing to do the research on that. So Massie, so let me sum all this up. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I had to because this is how much I hate Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie, the worst part about Thomas Massie is he's a complete and utter fraud. And not only is he a fraud, he has so many people following him and lionizing him as if he's the true hero of the Republic. And it's pathetic because all it takes is getting onto Grok and doing 2 minutes of research and you can find how he's not that principled. But he talks a good game. He's very smart. He's like an MIT engineer. And he's a brilliant man. But he's also a POS. And it just needs to get out there more and more. And thankfully, I think enough people have woken up that I think he's going to lose his primary. But so Jake says, thanks. Pay more attention. Yeah, man. Hey, God bless you. Thank you for being open to that as a libertarian. And again, I'm hard on libertarians, but not guys like you. So there's my Massie rant. I hope that helped.